Hello and welcome to day 6 of our 21-day journey in meditation, in Sahaja Yoga meditation. And a very warm welcome to all of you, whether you've been here for the previous 5 days or just joined today. My name is Nigel Powell, and I'll be the guide for this program. And for those of you who just joined for the first time, fear not, we'll give you a contact or information at the end of the program as to how you can catch up with previous recordings, and also there'll be breakout sessions for direct chats with the practitioners of Sahaja Yoga at the end of the program, so you can catch up as well. But for those of you who are here for day 6 after coming from day 5, welcome back. Hopefully we're going to give you a really exciting show today. So the one quick reminder is that you should have with you foot soak kit, as we call it, which is an important part of today's session. So don't panic, but if you have got yourself the kit, that's great. It's just quite simple. It's just salt, water, and a bowl, and a rag or a paper towel to wipe down with. So yesterday, we learned about the qualities of the chakras on the central channel and talked about hand massage. And that was a special technique that we introduced you to. Today, we're going to be focusing on natural elements. That's air, water, fire, and ether. And we're going to introduce you to, as you might have guessed from the kit, the foot soaking, a concept of foot soaking, which makes use of these elements. It's a very integral part to Sahaja Yoga. All of us have come to love the practice because of its benefits to us, both in terms of the meditation and also in general well-being. So the agenda today will be 2 guided meditations, a video from Shri Mataji explaining a little part of Sahaja Yoga, a short clip, then some live music, which hopefully will continue the meditative experience. Right at the end, as I said earlier, presenters will share our experiences with those of you who are interested to learn more or to ask direct questions and get more information. The whole program is 1 hour. That's the official running time. However, the breakout rooms will continue after for those who want to stick around and get more information. The one thing I should mention is that Sahaja Yoga is free. It's always been free. We don't charge for any aspect of it, and that's deliberately because of the ethos of the founder Shri Mataji, who stated that our spiritual evolution is our birthright. You can't pay for it any more than you can pay for breathing. Anyway, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce us to my co-presenters and our esteemed musician for today's program. Sarah Sarcher, David Morgan, and Sonali Patil. And I'll go individually just to get them to introduce themselves first. Sarah, we'll start with you. Could you just introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm very happy to be with you all today. I'm Sarah. I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga quite a while. I'm a psychotherapist by profession and family constellator, and I live in Sheffield in the north of England in UK.
Thank you, Sarah. David, if you wouldn't mind. Adam,
Me
sorry, David. Where to get David from? I've only known you 30 years and I got it wrong. I can't believe it.
How many decades have you known me and now you've changed my name? Anyway,
I just changed your name in one stroke.
um,
Adam, please get me out of this hole.
I'm Patrick Morgan. Like Sarah, I have been practicing Sahaja Yoga for many years now. I live in the UK, in England, down in Devon, by the seaside. By profession, my job is as a clinical psychologist. So we have a lot of psychotherapy people here today for some reason. I'm here today because I'm going to play some sitar for you. So sitar is an Indian instrument I'm sure many of you know of. It is I'm going to play a little bit of Indian classical music for the meditation, and the culture of Indian classical music is very much the same as the culture of meditation. So it has the same aims, which is to achieve, I guess, a liberation, a freedom from our mind, to take us beyond our thinking mind. So yeah, I'm going to play a little bit of music later on.
Thank you, Adam, David, Adam. Sonali, could you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Sonali. I'm from France. I grew up in this environment where lots of people around me were practicing Sahaja Yoga, so it got integrated in my life quite early on. But every day is a new experiment, and we learn every single day. And by profession, I'm a nurse, but tonight I'm happy to guide a meditation with all of you.
Thank you, Sonali. You're wonderful. I'm surrounded by medical professionals, so I'm feeling a little intimidated. But just to move on to Sarah, who's going to introduce us to the elements use of elements in Sahaja Yoga, and also to introduce, obviously, the foot soak, which is the one of the key aspects of today's program. Take it away, Sarah.
Okay, so we use the elements in Sahaja Yoga to cleanse the chakras, to cleanse the energy centers. When we have this Kundalini awakening and we have the Kundalini coming out the top of the head, basically the power of the elements is activated even more. Of course, you know that nature makes you feel better when you're out in nature, but actually we use the elements in the home to cleanse the chakras, and we get to know the elements and how they work and on which chakras which elements work. And today we're going to introduce the foot soak, which is a very important part of our practice, actually, because we tend to, once we've got really established in our routine of meditation, and actually it's part of establishing our routine, is we tend to have a foot soak every evening after all the day's stuff, all the kind of stuff from the day, the stuff that we absorb that's not really good for the chakras. We can let it all go into the foot soak. And the foot soak is water and salt, and the salt is the earth element and has a magnetic pulling effect and pulls out the stuff from the day. And the water, of course, cleanses us, as in, cleanses the chakras. And we put our feet in that water. And if you can put the slide up of a stick of the other elements, I'll just go through. Of course, this is what I just mean by the elements. I mean earth, water, fire, air, ether, because I know that sometimes people think of other things when they think of the word elements. So yeah, earth, water, fire, air, ether, those are the elements we use. And here with the foot soak that I'm just introducing now, we are going to I'll just introduce this practice. Of course, some of you might be new today and you've not got it ready. That's fine. Just sit for meditation with us. But the ones who've got it ready, I'll just show you what we're going to be using to get this right now. So there's the water, the towel, we put our feet in the water. We use that water here to wash our feet afterwards, and we put just normal salt in. You can use rock salt or sea salt too if you like, but I'm just using table salt there. And before we put our feet in, we give some what we call vibrations to the water. So we have our left hand open like this, and we make a circle around in the water, and we have our attention at the top of the head, and that gives vibrations from our subtle system to the water, and that helps to activate it even more. So and now we're going to do the raising of the Kundalini, and yeah, I think that's okay now. Just a little bit more. So normally with foot soak, we raise the Kundalini and do Bandhan at the beginning and at the end. But today we're just going to do it at the beginning because we're going to flow straight into another kind of meditation, listening to Shri Mataji's talk. So let's all together, okay, perhaps we'll just have a little bit of a second or two, just closing our eyes, letting our attention just rest above the head so that we can get ourselves a little bit centered. Before we just, right now, we can raise the Kundalini energy. This is how we do it. Some of you might not have done it yet, so hopefully you can just see what I'm doing. You're raising the left hand and turning the right hand around, because that's what the Kundalini does spirals. And then we tie a knot at the top of the head. And then again, I'm going to do this 3 times. And this is also getting us really centered, getting the Kundalini risen above our heads so that we can be in meditation. We're in our meditation when our Kundalini is up. So the second time we tie 2 knots, the third time now we tie 3 knots. And now we put the protection over us. So the left hand is open, the right hand makes an arc around the whole body. We do that 7 times. So that's 1, 2, 3. Right over the head, gathering the vibrations from the top of the head. 4, 5. You might feel it already. The settling of the Kundalini and the energy. So we're going to now take our socks off, put the feet in the water, and just let's settle for a little bit. Have our hands out, open on our laps. Do a little bit of deep breathing. And today we'll focus a little bit on the Nadi chakra in our meditation, which is where the stomach is. And the whole area, void area, which is like the whole area of the stomach. So that's including the Nadi and the Swadhisthana, which is the second chakra, at the bottom of the stomach. So let's close our eyes Let's just tap the top of the head with a little finger. And actually, we could also have our eyes open now. We look at the bindi, the red spot on Shri Mataji's forehead. It's a place to just let our forehead just relax and our attention just settle where we've just touched at the top of the head. And the Nabi chakra we feel on our middle finger. Just notice, now we're just going to notice our stomach area. We can just take some deep breaths and relax the stomach area. And the water clears the right side, and the earth clears the left side. And the water is also the element in the Navi chakra. So let's just take the hand and put it, the right hand, the left hand's open, and put it in front of the Navi, in front of the navel area. And we can ask this Kundalini energy, Mother, as we call her Mother, Mother, please cleanse my Navi chakra. Please cleanse the center in my stomach, the spiritual center in my stomach. Please cleanse my Navi chakra. And you can also turn the hand. I don't know if you can show this yet, but if you turn the hand a little bit, like 7 times around, and then you can say flick once you've taken out of the Navi chakra. And just flick the energy away, turning it. And now put your hand in front of it again. Ask, Mother, please give me the qualities of peace, contentment, satisfaction. And please cleanse my whole void area. So now let's take the hand and raise it very gently. The right hand, raise it gently up the central channel. And when you foot soak, you can work on any of the chakras. It doesn't have to be the Navi. It's just today that we've been working on the Navi. You can do this to cleanse the whole energy centers. And there's various different ways that we can, different things we can do during the foot soak to clear our chakras. So you'll learn these things over the period of time that you are learning about Sahaja Yoga. Put the hand just above the head. So we tend to do the foot soak for around 10 minutes in the evening. And then we have a meditation afterwards. So we're going to now wash our feet, finish the foot soak so we can have a little bit of a silent meditation before we watch Shri Mataji's video. So we're going to take the bottle of water and just pour it onto our feet so that we just cleanse the feet of the water that we've just had them sitting in. And then we take the towel and we dry our feet so that then we can put our socks on and they can be nice and warm again for when we're going to carry on with the meditation. So we just rinse both feet. And for today, we're just going to put the water to one side because we don't want you to be having to doing that in the middle of the program. But afterwards, after the program, after we finish the foot soak, we pour the water into the toilet, not into the sink, into the toilet. It's like it's full of all the stuff from the day. And then we cleanse, and then we rinse the, I've just put it to one side, and then we rinse the bowl afterwards in the sink in the bathroom, and we pour that water into the bowl, into the toilet. So what I'd like for us to be able to do now is just have a little bit of silent meditation. We can have the silent meditation slide. And we're going to just close our eyes. Again, we can just touch the top of the head with a little finger, or you can massage the top of the head with the palm of the hand. Just take some deep breaths, close our eyes. And let's have a little bit of meditation, just enjoying that peace and silence now. Hands open on the lap. Attention just above the head. Eyes closed. Okay, now we're going to watch a talk of Shri Mataji. If we just stay in this meditative state, have our attention just above the head while we watch Shri Mataji and enjoy her talk. Shri Mataji is the founder of Sahaja Yoga, and actually when she's talking, it does have an effect on our chakras and our subtle system. So it can take us deeper into meditation if we just stay with our hands open and stay in this meditative state just for this period.
I bow to all the seekers of truth. First of all, we have to know what is the truth. People are seeking all over, but they don't know what they are seeking and what should they get after they are seeking. This seeking can lead you into many diverse directions. Some of them could be very, very dangerous and absolutely misleading. And many must have also felt that way. I am sure there are many who have found it out, but they think there is no way they can return. The seeking is very simple to understand, that you want to know yourself. All the time we say, I want this, I like this, I that. But who is this I? What is it? Who is this one myself? What am I? Do I know anything about myself? It's very superficial knowledge we have about ourselves. Everybody has said, all the religions have said, you should know yourself. There's no difference on this point. Actually, in all religions, if you go in the essence, there's no difference. According to time, it was little bit stressed on one point and sometimes on another point. But the fundamental thing is that you have to know yourself. And how do you know yourself is the point. People will say, do this, give up everything, give up your family, give up everything, wear this kind of dress, cut your hair or shave your hair and all that nonsense. It's so outward. If you put little bit of your intelligence, you will see it's all outward. It's so skin deep, it has no meaning. So what has to happen? We talk of a last breakthrough of the evolution. How do you achieve it? When you are evolved up to the state of human beings, we have to know one thing for definite, that there's something missing within us. Otherwise, world would have been a most beautiful place, the paradise to live in. But something wrong with the human beings, and what is that? Is to understand how we have come through evolution. And as human beings, there are so many things of the animal stage lingering within us. The way we talk, the way we try to appraise others, the way we talk to sort of dominate others, the way we want to snatch everything, the way we are only worried about our food, this, that, all this is not really noble human beings' sides. These are all lingering from that animal instinct. All right, we have to accept, because we are human beings, so they are to be there. The thing so much frightening. But also we have one more thing, that we think. And we think and think and think and think no end of ourselves sometimes. Sometimes we think we should protest for this. Sometimes we feel that we must become very violent. All these things are coming from our human mind. Animals won't be violent for something just for violence sake. They'll be violent, all right, but for their own purpose of killing some animal or something. But here we have groups and groups of people who just enjoy violence. This is another development in the human awareness, I think, that we enjoy destruction of others. But also there is a seeking. This is a sign that people want their evolution. They want to evolve into a better personality. That they want to become something which is complete. Now, how do you achieve it? Now, I must say that we have not achieved our evolution ourselves up to the human level. So, to achieve a higher awareness, there must be some arrangement between us. And that is the arrangement we are not aware of. And that arrangement is that within you is the power, it's your own power to give you this last breakthrough through the awakening of that power. Already you have been told about it. It exists, it is there, and it is the right of every human being to get his self-knowledge, self-realization. Sahaja, Sah means born with you. With you is born the right. And why should we not ask under fundamental rights society that we should have our self-realization, which is your own. It is there already placed within you. You don't have to do anything. Of course you can't pay for it. How much did you pay for your evolution so far? And how can it be different from different people? Because in every human being, this power, which we call as Kundalini, exists, whether he is white, black, yellow, blue, any color. Whether he belongs to north or south, any place. Whether he belongs to this country or that country, they all have this power universally placed in their Kundalini. Even if I say everybody has a heart, so why should you have differentiation? But this mind, this human mind creates this differentiation and this problem saying that, of course, they are not of our country, they don't belong to a group. And like animals, again, we start getting into groups. Groups of different, denomination. Like some people have their fork and spoon put this way, so they are one group. Some people drink coffee, so they have a group like that. We are very good at forming groups. This is also animal instinct, I think, that we try to form groups of such stupid things. And then we can have wars, because we must fight. We are a group, something great, so we should fight others. All these instincts that are within us are inheritance. They have come to us. They say it is in our genes. Still, can we change the genes? Can we transform our personality into something higher? And for that, I tell you, there is a power within us. All of you have that power within you. And what does it give you? It passes through 6 centers, as told to you. It nourishes it, it integrates it, and ultimately it pierces through the last fontanelle bone area. We can call the actualization of the baptism, and is connected to the all-pervading power of divine love. Again I say love. Divine compassion and divine love. So you get connected to that power which is all-pervading. If you ask a doctor, who runs our heart? He'll say, it's the autonomous nervous system. But who is the auto? Who does all these things? Who does all the living works? Look at these flowers, beautiful. Who has made these flowers? It's different flowers. How does this Mother Earth differentiates and how she gives all these flowers? Do we think about it? We take it for granted. All living work, we take it for granted. But it is done by this divine power. Believe me, there is this divine power around us which protects us, which looks after us, which guides us, and also, above all, it loves us and it cares for us. It wants that we should all receive the blessings of this all-pervading power.
So if we carry on meditating now, if we close our eyes again and leave our hands on our lap, and again focus our attention on the top of the head, and see if you can feel this silence. And I'm going to play a little bit of sitar whilst you meditate.
Thank you, Adam, for this wonderful music. Very meditative. Brings us into silence. Now, we will introduce the second meditation, which will be on the other elements. So you have been introduced to water and to earth through the salt that was in your foot soak. And in the speech that we just heard of Shri Mataji, she talks about evolution. Evolution is the most living process that exists. A seed becomes a tree, a baby grows into a grown-up. Everything in the living evolves. And when we see it, our bones, when they grow in silence. When the grass grows and sprouts, it sprouts in silence. You don't necessarily see it or hear it right away, but when you come back the next day, it has grown. So this evolution happens in silence. And what we do in Sahaja Yoga meditation is that we take the help of these elements to balance ourselves, to get into that silent state where we can grow and get nourished. We probably all have had an experience where we were in the nature, in the forest, or we arrive on the beach and it's so wonderful and the water is so clear. We suddenly have the sunlight and we're so happy to receive the sun. The elements are all around us. We drink water, we breathe air. They're part of us and they surround us. So for this meditation, we invite you to take those 15 minutes just for yourself, to allow yourself to be in that silence, that if thoughts comes to you about your dinner or about your children, just for 15 minutes, say not now, and allow yourself to be in that state of silence. Even if it's 2 seconds and the thought comes back, even if it's 1 minute, it will be an achievement. So we will start the meditation after I've introduced you the elements. So we can sit comfortably on the ground and be in contact with element earth. We also have the element fire, which I show you now, but a candle on a candle holder. The element fire will be seen through a workshop on day 9, that will be Sunday. So we invite you to be here for Sunday and every day of the course. And for this meditation, we will use the element air, which is simply our breathing. So we can close our eyes once again, our hands open on our laps comfortably. We keep our attention inside because meditation is a state and it's not outwards. We can put our attention on our breathing. And through every breathing, try to slow it down. When we breathe in, we can take a little pause, a few seconds, holding our breath. And then we breathe out, slowing it down every time. And when we breathe out, we can pause a few seconds again. Before starting to breathe in again. Every time we slow it down, we can observe that our breathing gets quieter and quieter. And we can realize how silent our breathing can be. We can put our right hand on the heart, where our lungs also are. And putting our hand there indicates to that Mother Kundalini our desire to use the element air in our breathing to be more balanced. Can you feel how more silent the air around us has become? And how more silent we became inside? We can put both our hands back on the lap with our palms open, our fingers straighten, our attention back on the top of our head. Where our sprouting begins. We can stay in silent meditation for a few minutes with our attention above our head, above our brain, which thinks. Because now we are silent. We can slowly open our eyes. And all together, we can end this meditation by raising our Kundalini and giving ourselves abundance. So, raising our left hand and turning around with our right hand, making the first knot. Then the second time, where we do 2 knots above our head. And the third time, where we do 3 knots. And now we give ourselves a bandhan with our left hand open and our right hand that goes all around us like a rainbow of protection. And we go around 7 times. Thank you all for joining. I hope that you had a nice meditation, and I will let Nigel take over.
Thank you so much, Sonali. That meditation was truly magnifique. So merci beaucoup. That was fantastic. I hope everybody's enjoyed it as much as I did. Now we're moving sadly into the final stage of the program. And what we're going to do now is just quickly look at what we intend to give you tomorrow. And this is another very important part of what we do. It's to see how we're feeling, from day to day. This reason for this is to steady our attention, help to identify and understand any imbalances that are affecting our subtle system. The idea is that the more we train or respond to our attention, the deeper we can go and the more subtle and aware we can be of our inner system. And this is important for achieving the silence. We need to understand what our attention is doing. So don't forget that the foot soak is a very valuable way of cleansing I suppose you call it the debris from the day. We accumulate debris just as we go through life, dealing with stresses and strains and all these sort of things in our lives. And so to have a way of actually removing it every night helps us to sleep so much better. It really does revolutionize our sleep patterns. And we wake up so much more refreshed and clear and ready for the morning meditation. So I can't stress enough. And I think if you talk to any Saj person who practices Sahaja Yoga, you'll hear the same thing, that the foot soak is such a crucial part of our practice. Right, this some housekeeping. You please join our WhatsApp community. You'll find lots of resources, spiritual messages, course reminders. That's also the place where the link to the Zoom chats are. So that's very useful. For those of you who come for the first time, there's a website which you can see on the screen now, and there's a QR code which will take you directly to that website where you can find session links from the past recordings that have been made. So you can catch up, as I said at the beginning, through visiting those areas and run through the sessions on your own time as you wish. And hopefully by the time you come back tomorrow, you'll know everything there is to know. So, with that said, it's now time, I think, to move on to the breakout rooms, the breakout sessions. So here you can ask questions, clarify what you're experiencing, talk to somebody who's been practicing Sahaja Yoga. You should find instructions in the Zoom app on how to join a breakout session. That we have, I think, 17 or 18 languages available for those who need would like to prefer to speak in their own language. If you're having trouble getting access, then please feel free to write to breakout room help to get more help on how to join. Alternatively, feel free to write any questions to me directly here in this chat, and I can then share them with the presenters, and we can ask them directly for you here on the Zoom chat place. So the choice is stay here with us, and we'll open up the presenters, and they're starting to join now. And you can ask questions here by just simply talking in the chat, or go and access a breakout room. You have absolute permission to do anything you like. We'll be here and in all places, all locations for you. And so I'd just like to say thanks for attending. It's always gratifying to find that some of you are, enjoying and learning and nourishing your spiritual side from our programs. So thank you. And of course, we'll hope to see you tomorrow for more. But in the meantime, questions. Let's see what questions are coming in. So a first question that's arrived is, can we use any kind of salt? I think I'm going to give that to Sarah here, since she's the foot soak expert for today. Sarah, can we use any kind of salt?
Yes, we can use just the normal salt that we use in the kitchen. And so if we use rock salt or sea salt, you can use that salt, but you can also use table salt. So yeah, any salt.
Awesome. Yes, I think the worry is that people think that they have to use a special kind of salt.
No, it can just be any salt.
Any cheap Saxa salt.
Yes. Saxa in England. I don't know what it is in your other countries.
Sandra Lee says, when I was listening to the music today, I had quite a lot of tingling on the top of my head. Why would this be? I think we must ask the maestro, Adam. Adam, for that.
Well, not less of the maestro, but the tingling on the top of the head is the sensation of the Kundalini as she's coming out. So Shri Mataji's talked about different instruments, Indian classical instruments, and actually she did say that the sitar was the instrument of the Sahasrara. So this is the place of the Sahasrara within us. So I would imagine what you were feeling was your Kundalini coming out, which is good to hear, because that's the whole object of what we're doing, and it will help take you into this silence. So I mean, I don't know why anyone's coming along to meditate, but for me it was about getting some enlightenment, getting beyond my limited mind and connecting to some sense of I don't know, some enlightenment. So this Kundalini, this is what she does, is take us to our Sahasrara, and then that's where we can experience this silence that, like Nigel said, I thought in Sonali's meditation was really strong. The breathing's a really good way of calming your mind as well.
Yes, for those who may have joined for the first time, we in Sahaja Yoga we seek out what we call thoughtless awareness, which is where we go beyond the mind, as Adam says. Thoughtlessness. Of course, it's almost impossible as human beings to be completely thoughtless, but the piece that we experienced during Sonali's meditation was absolutely an example of how powerful it can be when we even touch it. for a brief moment. So we cherish it a lot.
Yeah.
And music. It's funny, Adam. You'll know because you've trained, I think, in India. Music is incredibly powerful for the spiritual subtle system.
Yeah, I mean, and it is. There's a very sweet saying in Hindi. Forgive my Hindi, please, anyone that speaks Hindi, but is swara hi ishwara hai, which means swara is the notes, and my understanding is it means the swara hi ishwara hai. The swara, the notes, they take us to the ishwara. They take us to the formless. They take us beyond, and that's the culture of Indian classical music. That is the objective of it. So it's the same objective as yoga, actually. I mean, in Indian classical music, the music is a form of yoga.
Brilliant. Well, wonderful. Sonali, have you had any memorable meditation experiences in nature after your self-realization?
Wow, it's quite a tough question. From what I've heard, a lot of people have it even before because nature is so powerful that it actually affects you when when you find such a beautiful landscape, you cannot help but be in awe, and suddenly everything stops around and you just want to enjoy and admire the beauty of it. And having realized that, of course, um, I've had the opportunity to try that on the beach, to try that in a forest, and every time it's amazing because it gives you a new experience of how deep can your meditation be, and how the surrounding of nature's peace can also echo to your own peace inside. So for sure, I would say I'd have several ones, and I would completely encourage you to go try it out.
Yes, I think I've heard stories, and I think I've also experienced. There are times where you're in nature and time stands still. And you're just in the moment. There is no tomorrow. There is no yesterday. And that I think poets, Wordsworth and Coleridge and folks like that have talked about these moments in time which are so special, and that's really what I think of as a sort of self-realization, a process where we suddenly realize our place in the universe, right? So that's and that can be brought about by the most beautiful locations. So another question. Sorry, Ed.
I was just going to say, so I don't know if I should say this, but being a boring psychologist for a second, there's also loads of research these days about nature's impact on us, and all the findings, and there's a lot of them, basically show that being out in nature as opposed to being in like an urban environment, what it does is it boosts our parasympathetic response. So in Sahaja Yoga, the parasympathetic nervous system, that's our central channel. And that is talked about a lot these days in psychology. And this parasympathetic response, which is thought of as like a relaxing, calming response, nature triggers that. And it also boosts our immune system. So even if you look at like hard-nosed, empirical research about nature, there's a lot of it to show that has a really observable, measurable impact on our nervous system, on our subtle body, ultimately.
Amazing. See, it's interesting how science moves towards
Yeah.
the and it has been increasingly, especially with the quantum realm and all that. Here's a question that's come up for everybody here. I'll throw it open. Are we losing it? It follows on really from the last chat. Are we losing our connection with ourself and nature because of the use of technology?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's actually because I'm reading a book called Digital Minimalism at the moment. So that's another thing where it's not just our use of technology; it's the fact that the internet and all these different things like Facebook, they're trying to pull our attention in. They're actually, deliberately. It's kind of I don't know. It's the attention economy, basically. And I think we're aware of that now. We're aware of how people are generally much more aware of how that's really pulling our attention, and So yeah, but I do think that the more that we've come away from nature, also, with things like all the spraying on the fields and all that kind of thing, the more we come away from nature, the more our kind of natural system, subtle system gets affected, and we get. I think that's partly why the mental health has been so affected, anxiety, ADHD, all that kind of thing. I think I feel like it's from moving away from nature, and that's our mother nature. We call it Mother Nature for a reason.
Mm.
So yeah, we've got quite disconnected, but we can get back, and the meditation does really help. But
Yeah, and you can, and as you know, meditate in nature. Go and sit in a green space and meditate. See if you've noticed the difference from when you're in a urban space or on your phone.
Yeah, yeah. So, final question here. Are there ways in which we can use Sahaj techniques, such as foot soaking and others, to actively improve our connection with nature, to actually help us to reconnect? Sonali?
Yes, of course. So actually, every time you are aware of nature, the power of that element will resonate in you. So, say you are walking outside and you decide, okay, while walking, I will look at every flower. And then suddenly you realize that every flower is different, that sometimes there's a new shade. Once I was walking and I realized there was a flower which had a color I had never seen before, which is totally incredible because we kind of know our scope of colors. We've seen loads of colors growing up. It's kind of unconscious at this point that somehow we know every color. But that color was so particular. It was a mix of orange and purple, which is not possible because they're opposite colors. And actually, by putting your attention like this on the nature, it suddenly cleanses your thoughts because you're not worried about, okay, I will go home, I need to buy my cheese, I need to do this, I need to contact my wife, I need to, all these kind of things. And suddenly you're just in the present. And actually, with this clearing out, what you have to do becomes clearer, and you just know that you have to do it. So you don't worry about it as much. And connecting to those elements, for example, we did a foot soak in a tub because that's the best thing we can do at home. But if you live close to the sea, go to the sea. You've got the biggest foot soak bucket out there. So
It's true.
every time you are conscious of your interaction with nature, and every time you try to nourish yourself through nature, it will always help you in your spiritual connection, and especially even more to your connection with yourself, because every human being is part of nature. Very simply, we're part of the ecosystem. So use it.
Use it, use it. I've definitely. I know exactly what you mean about that color in nature. There are times when I'm literally shocked at some of the colors that you see, which you don't expect from a flower. A small flower, which would be indescribably beautiful, and you can't really understand why this exists. This color, it doesn't make sense, but it's so amazing. And as you say, it stops all thoughts because it's like, whoa, where did that come from? Yeah. So I know what you mean. Okay, so thank you very much, dear co-presenters, and thank you very much all of those who are still here who have joined us today. Please make sure to arrive tomorrow when we'll be bringing you more exciting information and guidelines and techniques and silent meditation, which is the crucial part, of course. So thank you so much. Have a great evening or day or whatever time zone you're in, and see you tomorrow. Thank you.